Oh, oh my goodness. It is midnight 34. Oh, wow. That was a beautiful one. What immediately floated to my heart was that the event I created has not only just changed my life, but saved my life. And I was reflecting on this the other day. I'll tell you a story about how it saved my life. Well, first of all, what is this event, you ask? I created this event called the Boardwalks, and it's a 5-mile walk where curious, kind, and open-minded strangers of all ages and backgrounds and interests get together and walk 5 miles and have energizing, meaningful conversations. Think if chicken soup for the soul was wrapped into an event, that is the walk. And I've done 77 walks here in Austin. We've done over 20 in San Francisco. Shout out to Adele Block. And I love them so much. I'm bringing them all around the country. I want to spend my lifetime bringing the walks to every city in the world, because I truly do believe, somewhat by accident, but because I was following my passion and building from such an authentic and exciting and beautiful place, because I was building the community I always wished I had my entire life. You know, people who crave depth and crave juicy, meaningful conversations. I really do think that I messed around, followed my passion, and created a solution to the disconnection and social anxiety and loneliness that we feel today. And not for everyone, but for a very specific kind of person, for the curious, for the kind, for the open-minded. And I love my walks. Love my walks so much. But let me tell you a story that really brings it home about, like, people ask me, like, why do you wake up at 6 a.m. every Saturday and host these walks in Austin? Why can't you have someone else host for you? You know, why don't you take a break? Here's a story that captures why. Last year, I was actually, I'm going to tell this a different way. I was on the walk last year in April, and as per usual, we're floating around, we're having different conversations, and on the second half of the walk, I find myself in a conversation with these two lovely ladies, Katie and Talia. And Katie was from another state, and she was talking about how she was just visiting Austin, and she was trying to make her relationship work with a man she really deeply loved and knew really deeply loved her, but she was feeling some anxieties about the relationship and wasn't sure if it was ultimately the right fit. And we spent most of the time, you know, listening to her perspectives on this relationship. And then the other girl in the conversation, Talia, who is now one of my dearest and best friends, speaks up and says something very simple. It's like, you know, I interviewed a bunch of successful couples, you know, successful married couples, and found that the number one ingredient for a successful marriage is shared life vision. And I will never forget how that conversation hit me like a lightning bolt. I'm like getting emotional just thinking about it, because I had such an emotional reaction to Talia saying that. I was in a relationship at the time. I was really struggling in that relationship, and deep in my gut, I knew it wasn't right. I knew we were not compatible, but I couldn't really put the words to why. And it was such a struggle for me, because sometimes when there's a lot of passion and there's a lot of like willingness to, you know, work on things, and there's a lot of like, you know, I'll do anything for you, you know, I'll change this and this, and I'll work on this. And sometimes you can lose sight of the fact that it's just not right. And you're so entrenched in this reality with this person. And especially for me, you know, I'm not a quitter, and I don't quit on people easy. It's very hard for me to walk away. I've had multiple relationships where I stayed way longer than I should have because I didn't want to walk away. I wanted to stay and fight. I didn't want to quit. And I wanted to see if we can make it work. But, you know, this was a hard relationship. This is a hard relationship. And it was hard from almost the very beginning, which I now know is just something I will never do again. I realized that the right relationship would just feel so easy, would feel effortless. It'd feel like breathing. You don't have to change anything about yourself because you love each other just the way that you are. And you fuel each other and support each other. And my growth is your growth, and your growth is my growth, and we're in it together. And we understand that the love is so strong, and the trust is there, and the respect is there. And and what I learned on that walk is that the shared life vision had to be there. That is the core compatibility that I was missing in that relationship that I was in. And I hadn't been able to put words to it until Talia said it, and the lightning bolt hit me, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the problem. Because I have a big vision for my life. I've always had a big vision for my life. There was times where I didn't quite know how it was going to materialize, you know, when a few years ago, before the walks, before I really found myself. But I always just had this knowing that I was made to do something really big and have a really big impact, and like, and help and serve and heal, you know, create something that lived beyond me. I've always just had this knowing. And the person I was with at the time, a lot of the issues that we would run into were around how big my energy was, and how I'd never left an event crying until that relationship. I'm a friendly person. I connect with everyone. I'm so respectful. You ask anyone who knows me, I don't flirt. If I'm in a relationship, like, I'm very, very loyal. I'm aggressively loyal. I've never cheated on anybody. I will never cheat on anybody in my life. I don't have that in me. I have a very strong moral compass. I'm a ride or die type of partner. Like, I have no eyes for anyone but my partner, but I am a community builder. I love being around people, men, women, babies, young, old, all ages, all backgrounds. I love people, and I love connecting with people, and that will never change. That's what I'm built for, you know? I'm built to bring people together and be like a connecting glue and a force for connection in the world. That's my passion. That's what I love to do. And we were always butting heads because he was jealous, so jealous. And I don't mean to focus on this too much, but maybe it would help somebody, you know. I realize now what I didn't realize then, which was our life visions weren't compatible. I won't, you know, wish him all the best and really hope with all my heart that he finds love in his life, if he hasn't already, and that he meets the love of his life who has a very compatible life vision to him. But it just wasn't me. And when I talked to Talia on the walk about shared life vision being the #1 ingredient for successful couples and successful married couples, I was like, this is the missing piece. That's what I need. You know, I need somebody who sees my vision and also has a vision just as big. That's so exciting to me, you know? That's so exciting to me. I can't wait for that. Because I'm such a good partner, you know? I love being a partner. I was talking to Talia and Danny yesterday, and we were talking about how the three of us love each other so much because I describe it like this. Imagine you have a desktop computer and there's folders on the desktop. I'm just somebody who, like, if I love you, you have a folder on my desktop and I think of you all day. You're just in the back of my head all day. And I'll just see little things that think of you, and I'll see something that could help you and send it to you. And I'll pick up like your favorite little treat or your favorite little drink. I'm just like constantly seeing the world through the eyes of the people I love. Even if it's just like a little meme, you know, like whenever I see a picture of a cute cat, I send it to my friend Annie, you know. Just little things like that. I don't know, I'm getting emotional. And I'm a lover, you know. I'm a lover. I have a lot of love. And I genuinely think that conversation with Talia on the walks saved my life, because if I didn't have the walks, I don't know if I would have had that realization about that relationship. And things were getting serious, really serious, you know. And there were conversations about going to the next step, and without the walks, I think my life would look so different. The walks were like my saving grace. They are what kept me social. You know, I couldn't disappear into my relationship. I couldn't be isolated. I couldn't abandon my love for community building because it was my event. I had to show up. I was the host, and I when I met my partner at the time, I had the walks already. So there was, like, we were a package deal. Like, you may not like the walks. The walks might make you uncomfortable, but I'm not, come hell or high water, I am not stopping the walks. The walks are the love of my life. And if you want me, you want the walks. And there's no disconnecting the two. And if that wasn't the case, like, I genuinely do think my life would be very, 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 very different. And it's just like the conversations I've had on the walks that have completely changed the trajectory of my life. Like, it brings a tear to my eye. Every good thing in my life has come from creating the walks. Every good thing in my life. And I just want to, like, bottle up that magic, and I want to ship it around to every city. Because if that happened to me, that happens to somebody else. People tell me every single day, I get a message from someone saying how the walks have transformed their life. But I am my own case study. I know that the walks saved my life. I might still be in that relationship. I might have even gone further into that relationship. But the walks put me around people strangers like Talia, who became my best friend, who made me realize some blind spots. You know, that blind spot around shared life vision that was such a instant lightning bolt. And I remember I had a conversation with someone on the walk who noticed that, you know, I'd ended that relationship, and she asked me, why did you stay if you wanted to leave? Like, what made you stay? Because she was going through a really tough relationship, and she was deciding whether or not to break up with the guy. And I said something that, in the moment, that I still think about sometimes. I said, because I'd rather break my own heart than someone else's. It's easier for me to break my own heart than someone else's. Yeah. That's why I stay longer than I should. Because when you look in someone's eyes and you see the pain and you know you're the cause of it, it's so painful. You know? It's so painful. I can't bear it. I feel it so deeply. I feel so responsible. And I want to pull the trigger and I want to end it, but then I can't. And that guy, he had this dog. Oh God, I loved this dog so much. Oh my gosh, I miss her. I miss this dog. I remember, like, one time he was leaving and he was like, make up your mind because you're traumatizing the dog. And I just looked down at her and she was like, oh my God, it makes me want to throw up. I miss her so much. I loved that dog. That dog was so special. I had like a soul connection with that dog. I miss her. I looked down at her and I changed my mind. I couldn't leave her. I couldn't leave her. I'm just very sensitive, as you can tell. I'm very sensitive. And it's true. I don't do this anymore because I listen to my intuition in every stage of relationships, but if you can relate to that, if you can relate to feeling like you stay longer than you should, or you'd rather break your own heart than someone else's. Listen to me. You need to do what's right for you. You need to prioritize yourself. Don't sacrifice yourself for someone else. Because the thing is, you're delaying the inevitable. And it's not that pain. That pain hurts more than anything in the world in the moment when you walk away. And for the next week afterwards, you're going to feel like you're missing a limb. Because you're going to feel their absence. And you're going to question yourself. And you're going to question, is there anyone else out there for me? And what if I walked away with the person in the world who loved me the most and loved me the most ferociously? And you're going to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. You're going to question yourself so profoundly. But where there is any doubt, there is no doubt. And if you look at the person and say, there's something in my intuition saying this isn't the right person, or we're not compatible, or we don't have the same life vision. Life vision meaning, like, what do you see for your life? Do you want to be connected to the community? Do you want to have a big life? Do you want to be visible? You know, do you want to have more of a solitude, you know, a secluded life, or do you want to be more involved? It's like, these are the things you have to really think about. These are the important things. You got to get specific with it. Really sit and say, what do you want for your life? And the person that you should be with, it's like interlocking fingers that raises the hand together, you know, like two champions. Doesn't Tiger Woods do that? Two champions interlocking hands to go further. That's what a relationship should be. And if you have any doubt, if there's a sneaking voice in your intuition telling you this isn't right, or if it's hard in the beginning, leave. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. Save yourself a lot of pain. Yeah, man. I've grown so much since then. I wish all the love in the world for everyone that I've been lucky enough to be with. But you have to really, really be grounded in who you are and what you want, and understand that there's an endless pool of people who would be so lucky to be with you. And there's that one very special person who is aligned with what you want to do with your life, that you can interlock hands with and go further together, who will treat you so, so well, and you will treat them so, so well, and you'll have such a mutual love and admiration. And it's going to feel so easy, like breathing, you know, like talking to your best friend. They're that person that's in the back of your mind all day long. They're that person that you want to run to for advice, or to tell good news, or to tell little things about your day. That's what it should feel like. It should feel so easy in the beginning. And if it's not easy, it's not right. This is just my big sister advice right now. I'm so tired. It's 1 a.m, so sorry if this one didn't make that much sense, but I love you so much. Thank you as always for being here with me. This one was sad girl hours, and you know, sometimes it's sad girl hours, but thank you for being here with me. I love you so, so much. I hope you have the coziest little evening. Oh, my nose is itchy. The coziest little evening, and can't wait to see what tomorrow brings. I love you. Mwah.